going on YouTube? Kevin Monroe's back, aka The Specialist, aka The Big Ben of London. Call myself The Big Ben of London for one reason. I felt I knew what time it was when it came to rhymes, beats, turntables, engineering, buying equipment, life in general. So if you know what time it is and you're on point, then you should be called The Big Ben of London. So it's nothing arrogant, nothing about it, whatever. It's just the fact that I knew what I wanted to do, and I knew I had the perception and the timing to make my dreams come true. So The Big Ben of London is what they call me. And I'm going to stick with it only because it's all about timing. You know what I'm saying? Good things happen to people at the right place at the right time. And this is the right time to making videos. It's been a minute, so I'm going to show you what I'm about to do. Now, the reason for me making videos is I see everyone making beats on the MPs, you know what I'm saying, the SPs and the VM88s, whatever. I got a new technique I think the whole world should be rocking. It makes a lot of sense, and no one's gonna know about it until I actually make a video and explain why I think this is the new wave of doing music. You know what I'm saying? Like, I'm by myself here, so I'm gonna move the camera, reach out, and so on and so forth. So what I do is I got a program called SoundForge. Now SoundForge is a simple program. It's not like multi-track, like no Reason, Logic, and any of the other programs. It's straightforward. You record an audio track and that's it. The reason why I use SoundForge is because using a computer screen compared to an MPC screen, it's a lot easier to see the wave. You can zoom in on it. On top of that, with SoundForge, you can basically take a sample, highlight the part that you want, like, and take out a snap, crackle, pop. Like with a regular sampler, whatever you sample is what you get. Now, when you use a computer editing program, you can take out a snap, crackle, pop, highlight a part, fade it in, or fade it out. You can fade it in and make it sound like it's building up, or you can fade it out like a song's ended. So you can do that anywhere within the sample itself. So that's how accurate it is as far as using a computer. So SoundForge basically gives me the option to fade in, fade out, normalize, take out snap, crackle, pop, cut a wave. It's easy to find the tempo on it as opposed to any other machine, so on and so forth. Then I can highlight the parts that I want, and then drag it over to a blank spot. So that's how I chop my samples. I take a section, move it over, move it over, move it over, move it over. Then I save all those files, which I just chopped, onto an SD card. Now the SD card is the best thing going. So if you don't have an SD card on your MPC 2000, I suggest you really get one, because the little SD card actually holds about a gig of memory. Now a gig of memory is almost like 3 hours of straight sampling time. No one's gonna sample 3 hours straight, you know what I'm saying, unless you want to sample the whole soundtrack to The Godfather or whatever, Scarface. But using an SD card and be able to save all my sounds on the SD card, take it out of the computer physically, load it into MPC 2000 XL physically, then load the sounds like that. It makes it faster for me. I can save folders. I sell folders, so if you're looking for kicks and snares, hi-hats, things already tweaked, sound professional, ready for mastering, I sell those files and folders, so on and so forth. So basically, I use SoundForge as an editor, save everything on an SD card or even a floppy disk rather, from a floppy drive, load it into my MP. Now I have two MPs. I have a 2000 and an XL. You know, so for this tutorial, I'm gonna use the 2000 for the drums, the XL to hold the sequencing of the Korg X50. Now the Korg X50 is what I use just for playing around every now and then. I want to hear some hot, crispy string sounds. I use the X50 along with everything else. So the tutorial is just to make a beat on the 2000, sequence the X50 on the XL because it's behind me, and combine them, and then take snippets of samples that I recorded in SoundForge, like a crowd or whatever, put it on top of the beat, and then I'm gonna fade it all in and make it sound like, you know, it's an intro for EP and LP, and it's a skit. So like I said, the Big Ben of London is about to show you a new tutorial on how to use the MP with SoundForge. Y'all ready? Now I'm about to use the MPC 2000 XL, which is where I sequence the chords, but I'm gonna use the 2000 in front of me to do the drum pattern. You know what I'm saying? Just because I got two different setups in my crib, and I'm gonna just do the hi-hats for now, and then the kick and the snare. So let me move this over. You can see the 2000 right now. We hit record, play, put on tap tempo, and hit the hi-hats. that's the hi-hat. I usually don't tap in the hi-hats, you know what I'm saying, because it's got this tempo tap thing that works, so I'll use that. So I'm gonna go to track 1 now, and you know, rigging it up for kick, and you got the kick and the snare. This is the snare, so I'm gonna rock the snare like this, and freak it like that. Kick, you know what I'm saying? Quantize it. I like to do 16 triplet on the kicks. I can double it up, give it a little swing feel to it, and go like that. Let the beat play by itself because you can't hear the metronome. That's right there's the drum pattern. You know what I'm saying? So right now, I'm about to freak the 2000 with the 2000 XL, only because they got 2 MPs and I like to play with both of them, so I don't wear out the buttons on one over the other. So in order to see both of them, right here, let me get out the way, is the 2000 XL with the SD card. Like I said, gotta get up on the SD cards. You can put 1,000 floppy disks on one of these. Tons of folders. I got thousands of sounds, you know what I'm saying? So if you're looking for tweak kicks and snares, you can hit me up a little later. I'll give you the information for that. I sell folders that load right into the MP. It's already mapped out and programmed. So I'm gonna throw that back in there. And then over here, like I said, is the regular 2000, which is where I do like mainly my sequencing and stuff like that. So you're about to hear the drums from the MP 2000 and then the Korg X50, and it goes like this. Basically, you know, it's just something simple. The whole thing is to make an intro for a skit. This is going to be my EP I'm working on for 2009. New Year's resolution is to do some music. So this is going to be. So like I said, we're going to take SoundForge now and incorporate it so, you know, the MPs and all the other sounds that I got. So basically, we're going to take this sample of a crowd and then loop it and then load it into an MP. So here's the wave, you know what I'm saying? This is the crowd. I basically record it into SoundForge because, like I said, I use this as my sampler. And what I can do is I can highlight the parts I want, zoom in on it, whatever the case may be. Then on to that, I can fade it in and fade it out. Like I can take this right now as we speak, highlight it, and say process, fade out. And I just faded it out. It's a lot faster than using the, you know, the features of a sampler, but I'm gonna just show you a new technique of how to make the music. So that's the sample, you know what I'm saying, and then we're gonna get busy after that. Now from SoundForge, the wave file that I had was a live crowd that I actually recorded. From there, I recorded into SoundForge, highlight it, normalize it, whatever I want to do, and I save it to the SD card. Now with the SD card, coming straight out of the computer, I load it right into the XL 2000. So basically I swap all my files using a card or sometimes a floppy if I don't have any cards laying around. I usually stick to SD cards because you can hold like 1 gig of memory. 1 gig of sampling memory, it's crazy. That's like 3 hours of sampling time. And no one samples 3 hours straight like a Scarface movie, whatever. But basically, I do all my editing, and our sample that I had was this right here. Along with the kick and the snare from channel 1, this is the snare, and this is the kick. So this is the beat, and then this is the sample of the crowd right here. So that's it right there. Then I hit stop on this. Now I'm gonna have the Korg go along with the MP2000, the 3000, and then the sample of the crowd, and that's gonna be like the intro to my EP. Check it out. Here's the chord strings, here's the drums, and here's the crowd.